Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Our segment today is going to be Islam and globalization. As a lot of people think otherwise of this topic, as they tend not to see Islam as a globalized, religion. Many people think globalization is the Western ideology that crept into the mainstream life that we live in today, excluding Islam, and that is a lot of people think like that. So, therefore, the relationship between Islam and the West, indeed, for all nations, is a cordial and respectful one, as enshrined in the Quran, where Allah said, يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. O ye mankind, it is I, Allah, who created you from a single pair of male and female, and I made you into nations and tribes, just so you would understand, interlock with each other. And lo, the best amongst you is he who have consciousness of God, taqwa. That is the best criteria that Allah have used between each and every member of the human family. This is in the Quran over 1,400 years ago. Now, Islam has been and it still is a global ideology from its inception. When the Quran said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, we have not sent thee, O Muhammad, but as a mercy for the whole of mankind. Now, this ayat of the Quran has a global and all-encompassing undertone to fraternize, to work together, to socialize, to cooperate, to respect, to support, and to achieve a common goal within the framework of mankind. It's in this harmonious spirit that Allah said in the Quran also, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَةً لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. We have not sent thee, O Muhammad, but for the whole of mankind, guiding them and giving them glad tidings, but most of mankind do not know, and that is true. A lot of people don't understand what Islam is all about. They think Islam is all about the ritualistic way of fasting and going to pray 5 times a day and going to Mecca and giving zakat, and that's it. No, there is more to it. That is why, in retrospect, Islam really is not a religion. But we use the word religion just so we would understand each other. But actually, Islam is a deen. Deen is a way of life. It permeates all life. And so when we define globalization, globalization, therefore, is the spreading and exchange of people, goods, ideas across the globe. It is directly, associated with change, advancement, and increasingly interdependent relationship between different regions of the world. And that is exactly what the messenger preached in the Quran and the Sunnah. So the Holy Prophet is reported to have said, "Go ye even into China and seek knowledge." So if there's no globalization, there would not be mentioning of going to China or any other place. Some say this is not a hadith. Even if it is not, the spirit in which it is spoken gives us an idea that mankind is one and that we can work, cooperate, and learn from each other. Now, the charter of peaceful and interrelationship between one nation and another, and the peaceful worship of various religions was actually enshrined and included in the charter that was designed by the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ in Medina. Allahu Akbar. Now, the real beneficial democratic system benefiting all was the hallmark of the document which open-minded Western scholars are singing glory to the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, because they couldn't believe what a book written in the 7th century, yet it smelled, or contemporary. And however, the globalization system envisioned by the Holy Prophet is not to be equated with that of the Western system today, where the haves keep having and the poor keep dwindling to the brink of extreme poverty as the system milked them dry. No, that is not Islam. And so the Islamic globalization is a two-way traffic where each member benefit from each other through socializing and harmonizing and working together. That is Islamic globalization. And so the practical aspect of it was echoed in the desert by the Holy Prophet when he said, deal justly with the people even if it affects you. That was that we should stand with justice and a witness to the community. The Muslim greetings of Salamu Alaikum, which means peace be upon you, is also a kind of globalization undertone of peaceful coexistence. When the Muslims stand to pray 5 times a day in the masjid, they stand shoulder to shoulder. It tells us that we should be very close to each other, the black and the white, the yellow and the brown, the rich and the poor, the king and the pauper. We should be in the same rank. No one is above anyone except Allah. He dictates that person. So your richness, your position as a leader, whatever it is, the criteria of being the best in the sight of Allah is if you have consciousness of God. If you are a good person, you have taqwa, fear of Allah. The kind of dress that we dress in a white robe, during the Hajj is a true spirit of Islamic fraternity and globalization. So really in Islam, globalization has been with us over 1,400 years ago in the desert of Medina or Mecca, long before the Western, think tankers or rationalists come to realize this. At that time, the whole Western nation or Europeans really live in darkness. We call that era the Dark Ages. So when Islam came, when the Quran came, it became a light age. So from the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th up to 16th century, the Muslim were practically ruling the world. When the Western community are actually backward, they have to come to the Muslim world to understand exactly how the rule of law works, and Allah have enshrined that in the Quran. So Allah said in the Quran that in huwa illa zikrun lil alamin wa la ta'lamunna naba'ahu barhin. This Quran or this Islamic legislation is for the whole of mankind, but as time goes on, mankind will come to understand the implication of the Quranic truth. So therefore, those of you or those of us who keep on saying globalization is not good, no, it is very good. Maybe the mechanism put in place for all mankind to benefit has not been put. And those who write down the Western globalization have chalked it such that, some people will benefit and some people will not benefit. And when it comes to Islam, each and every one of us have to benefit from that globalization. And that is exactly what the Quran preached. And that's what the Messenger Muhammad preached over 1,400 years ago in the desert, where thinking of that has not even appeared in anybody's mind.